everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we're going to learn how to create or update SendGrid contact and Tally form submission. So I am an owner of an e-commerce store and using Tally, I have created a form with the help of which I collect my leads data and this form is attached on my website. Here what I want is that as soon as by name of the lead, a new form submission is going to be done using Tally. I want to create that lead as a contact in my SendGrid account so that I can manage and track my leads details. Now doing this manually is very time consuming. So what I've done is I've simply automated this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. And here in this automation, I'm going to build a connection between Tally and SendGrid with the help of it. So if you also want to learn about this amazing automation process step by step, for that let me take you to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to create or update SendGrid contact and Tally form submission. So as an owner of an e-commerce business, I focus on capturing potential customers' details to grow my sales. I use Tally forms to create lead generation forms where visitors can enter their name, email and product preferences in exchange for discounts or exclusive offers. And I use SendGrid to send welcome emails, promotional offers, product updates to these leads. By integrating Tally forms with SendGrid, every time a new lead is going to do the form submission using Tally forms, automatically that lead is going to be created as a contact in my SendGrid account, triggering personalized email sequences, discounts and follow-up campaigns to nurture potential leads efficiently. And we're going to create this amazing automation between Tally forms and SendGrid with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the all Pabbly apps in front of you, in which you can see all the products that Pabbly provides, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button right here. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow over here, I'm going to give it as Create or Update SendGrid Contact on Tally Forms Submission. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow, okay? After that, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I have created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. These are the folders from which I'm going to select Tally Forms Automation as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving the name to the workflow and selecting the folder, I'm going to click on this Create button in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Create or Update SendGrid Contact on Tally Form Submission, and you can see that there are two windows in front of you. One says Trigger, other says Action. So what is Trigger and Action? Trigger and Action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two principles. Over here, Trigger says when this happens and Action says do this. That means what is Action? Action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as Tally. As with the help of Tally, I have created a form with the help of which I am collecting my leads data. I want that as soon as by the lead a form submission is going to be done using Tally, automatically the trigger over here should capture the response of that. That is why for my trigger application, I have selected it as Tally. And for the trigger event, I'm going to select it as New Response. After selecting the trigger application and the event, you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. Using this unique webhook URL, we're going to build the connection between Tally and Pabbly Connect by following the steps given here below at the help desk. So firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here. As I've copied the URL, I'm going to open the form that I've created using Tally, which I want to connect to Pabbly Connect. So this is the form in the name of Contact Us form, and I want to connect this form to Pabbly Connect. For doing that, from the panel, go to the settings option next to this preview button right over here. After coming to settings over here from the panel, go to integrations over here. Then you go to land towards the integrations page, and in integrations it says webhooks. Click on this connect button over here next to webhooks. It says endpoint URL. For that, in this field, paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us, and then click on this connect button right over here. As you're going to do that, you can see webhook URL successfully added to the form that I've created using Tally. As now the webhook URL is added, I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. It is saying waiting for webhook response. So now to check whether Tally is connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do the test submission of this form that I've created using Tally. And after doing the test submission, I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the test submission being done or not. In the response, I want the simple format. So I'm going to toggle the simple response button over here next to simple response. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the test submission. So this is the form. For doing the test submission of this form over here, I'm going to click on the share button next to the settings button. This is the link of this form. I'm going to copy it from here and paste it in the new tab right over here. And you can see this is the form. Now let us do the test submission. It is asking for the lead's first name. So for the first name over here, I'm going to write it as new. For the last name over here, I'm going to write it as lead. For the email over here, I'm going to write it as newlead1234@pabblytudes.com, and for the phone number over here, I'm going to write in a dummy mobile number right here. After filling in all the details, I'm going to click on this submit button to do the test submission. It says thank you for completing this form. As now the form submission is done, I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. And yes, you can see over here, Pabbly Connect has captured the response of the form submission. First name as new, last name as lead, email as newlead1234@pabblytudes.com, and for the phone number, dummy mobile number with all the other details. As now the response of the form submission has been captured in our trigger, this means that Tally is now been successfully connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. After setting up our trigger step, we need to set up our action step. My objective is that as soon as by the lead of form submission is going to be done using Tally, I want to create that lead as a contact in my SendGrid account. Now for that, we're going to set up our action step. And for the action application over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as SendGrid. And for the action event, I'm going to select it as add or update a contact. Then I'm going to click on this connect button to create a connection between SendGrid and Pabbly Connect. I'm going to build a new connection, but if you want, you can select the existing connection that you have. It is asking for the token next. Using this token, we're going to build the connection between SendGrid and Pabbly Connect, and to have the token, follow the steps given here below in the help desk. Firstly, we're going to log into our SendGrid account. So this is my SendGrid account. You can see right over here. And I want to create a contact in this list in the name of Tally Forms list, and I'm going to create a contact of my leads in this list right over here in my SendGrid account. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to have the token. For having the token, from the left side of the panel, go to the settings option right here. In settings, it says API keys. Click on this option over here of API keys right here. After coming to API keys, I'm going to click on this create API key button right here. It is asking for the key name. So for the key name over here, I'm going to write it as contact added. This is the key name. I'm going to give the full access, and then I'm going to click on this create and view button right here. The key is created. I'm going to copy it from here and paste this token over here. This is the token. I'm going to click on this save button to build the connection. As you can see, SendGrid has now been successfully connected to Pabbly Connect. After connecting over here, it is asking for us to select a list. For list, I'm going to go back to my SendGrid account. So, okay, you can see over here in my contacts in my SendGrid account, I have created multiple lists, from which I have created a list in the name of Tally Form Submission. You can see right over here. And I want to create a contact in this list right over here of my leads. So for the list over here, I'm going to select it as Tally Forms Leads. Okay. After selecting the leads, it is asking for the email of our contact that we are creating. So for the data of this field, what we are going to do is we are going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. How it works is that as soon as I'm going to click on it, you can see this was the previous step. As I'm going to click on it, this is the same response that was captured in our previous step. In the previous response that we have received our leads data. And this is the lead that I want to create as a contact in my SendGrid account. It is asking for the contact's email. So I'm going to select the lead's email from my previous response. So I want to create this lead as a contact. That is why I've selected the data from my previous response. Now, as I have selected the data from my previous response, what happens is the data is mapped. And as I have mapped this data has now become dynamic. That means now whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically what is going to happen, the new data is going to be updated in place of this map data. Okay. Next, it is asking for the first name. Similarly, I'm going to map the data of the first name. For the last name, over here, I'm going to map the data of the last name. It is asking for all these details which I do not have and I don't require them. So I'm going to skip the part. For the phone number, I've received the phone number of my lead. I'm going to map the data. As well as for the WhatsApp number, I'm going to map the data of the same number right here. Okay. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on this Save and Send Test Request button right here. We have received a job ID, which is a positive response. So now to check whether a new contact has been created in my SendGrid account, I'm going to open my SendGrid account right here. So this is the tally forms list over here in my SendGrid account. I'm going to refresh this page from here. As I have refreshed the page, you can see over here a new contact has been added to my SendGrid account. I'm going to tally the response of the contact. Name of the contact comes over here as new lead. It's the date of adding the contact. You can see right here. First name is new, last name is lead, email is newlead1234@pabblytudes.com. If I'm going to further scroll on, the phone number and the WhatsApp number is also here. Okay. So as now the contact is successfully created in my SendGrid account, this means that we have successfully created an automation between Tally and SendGrid with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I am an owner of an e-commerce store and I collect the data of my leads using the form that I've created using Tally. Okay. Now what I've done is for the trigger over here, I've selected it as Tally new response. Now whenever by any of the lead, a new form submission is going to be done using Tally, the trigger is going to capture the response of the leads details. Okay. As now we have the leads details by the form submission, I want to create this lead as a contact in my SendGrid account. For that, I've set up this action step in which from action application, I have selected it as SendGrid, add or update a contact. And using Pabbly Connect, I have built a connection between Tally and SendGrid in this similar manner. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.
Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple other applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. If you have any questions, you can contact us on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can check the queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.